Good morning, this is Michelle Abaya, and today is September 18, 2016. It's a Sunday, and today I'm going to talk about diversity and problem solving. So, to start with, I'm going to share a quotation. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them, and that is by Albert Einstein. And so, it is wise for organizations to think about diversity and that how diversity will help them in solving their problems, because if you have everything's the same, and so naturally the outcome will still be the same. If you don't change anything with your conditions, then you will expect the same kind of result. And so it is um, to the organization's benefit to think about bringing new kinds of people into the program. Um, but why is diversity tough? And first of all, it is tough because when we think of people don't understand, diversity. Because when people think about diversity, it is skin deep. They think about the color, um, of bringing in different kinds of color in their program, and so, but they don't really think much deeply about diversity. I mean, first and foremost, the lingua franca of intelligence is white American and British English. And so that, I think, in itself is the source of problem. It is a source of problem. I'm not saying that we shouldn't use English. We should use English, but we need to understand that when that is the common language, when that is the language that is the basis of competence and intelligence, it means that you naturally eliminate certain kind of people, and that includes first generation immigrants, because English is not their primary language, but they're still able to analyze, they're still able to solve problems. It's just that in terms of verbally, they won't be, or we won't be able to consistently verbalize our opinion. And that is very important to take note, because other people, when a first generation immigrant contributes to the company, I think that they're put in more tests. They're asked to do more challenges in order to prove that they are really competent, that they are really intelligent. And not all the time they might be able to verbalize these opinions, because it is, people forget that it is not our language. And so, it is really hurtful when people say it's dumb luck or it's a fluke, but it's not a fluke. When it's just that we don't have that advantage to have English, the lingua franca of intelligence, as our primary language. And so diversity programs fail because the managers, the people hiring and promoting, what they don't understand is that they have their own bias. And they're biased towards people who, who are able to speak a certain way, who are able to speak their language, who are able to imitate the way they speak, whom they can relate to, whose experience that whose experience is similar to theirs. And this kind of bias is why, there's this cycle of just promoting and hiring the same kind of people. And that is not good for an organization, especially an organization want, especially nowadays, where we need creativity, we need to innovate, we need to find ways to see things differently. So that is the advantage of an organization, is to be able to bring in new ideas, to be able to bring in new products, new ways of doing things. And you can't do that without diversity. Without mental diversity, without any kinds of diversity. And these diversity programs fail because of the first level of management, middle managers, because they're essentially just doing the same type of hiring and promoting. And so I think that we need to think about that. We need to think about on what basis do we judge someone. And we need to think about the fact that intelligence and competence is is sometimes a matter of language, of primary language. So these issues needs to be talked about, because there are people who are eliminated based on the fact that, you know, they have their own biography, their own background eliminates them to be considered for certain positions. And I think that that kind of behavior is what undermines not just the diversity program, but the efforts of the organization to be innovative. And so that is um, that is all. And I do wish that, you know, people will start thinking about these things, and how their actions are essentially undermining their own efforts. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching this, and I hope someone out there will be able to hear this and will be able to think about what kind of processes, what kind of decisions that they have in their organizations, and how that, you know, and that how that might contribute to their own goals. Okay, so thank you for listening, and have a wonderful day.